Welcome to part 2 of building an insane asylum roller coaster using Planet Coaster, and in the beginning of this episode I create the queue area to outline the building's modern area behind it. I've been watching lots of videos online that with urban exploration, and I love these videos. I always have them on while I play this game, just in the background, because I get lots of ideas for this kind of build from them. Mainly the fact that there's going to be not a lot happening inside the rooms. They're going to be quite empty, but they're going to be very dilapidated. They're going to be filled with vines. They're going to be filled with hanging vines and ivy on the walls, and they're going to have statues, and they're going to have rotten things. It's just to look decrepit and awful. And this part of the building is going to be quite modern, that you can see being built here. It's going to be a sort of 1980s refurbishment that's been added to the building. You see that quite a lot in these old buildings. They always have modern parts attached to it. And then after this layout of the queue area is complete, I then go on to create the building's facade, the Victorian facade of the building. And in this build, I really take advantage of using Control D, and I finally figured out how to make the mansard roofs work and copy and paste them. I had to watch a lot of Planet Coaster Let's Builders to actually understand how to do it, because I couldn't find instructions on how to create it anywhere. So I literally had to trial and error while watching other people do it in time-lapse form without knowing what I was supposed to do, and it was quite difficult. But I'm so happy I persevered, because now I have a technique that really saves me a lot of time, and it makes it so much easier and more fun to make these builds, because before I would have to create everything from scratch again and again, and in this build it would have been a nightmare, and it probably wouldn't even be that much fun to watch in time-lapse form, because you're watching me create the same thing over and over again. So I'm glad I discovered how to do this, and it will save me a lot of time, and hopefully it will be more interesting for you guys to watch. It's especially important when it comes to the roofs, because placing I use a wood panel for the roofs, and placing that individually all the time, for every part of the roof would have been a nightmare for me and for you guys to watch. So I'm glad I've discovered that, and I think it's going pretty well. It's going pretty well. I also got a comment saying, I like your roller coaster, but I'm not so sure about all those long bits, and those long bits were quite intentional, because they're supposed to house sort of corridors and hallways and these kind of things. But if you can think of a better idea for those long areas, and what I should do in those areas, I could always edit the roller coaster again. That's why I haven't really built a lot on top of the roller coaster just yet. I'm still in a sense of trial and error with it, and I'm not the greatest roller coaster builder by far. I try my best, but I'm more into buildings and facades, and architecture's more my forte. But then again, I'm really trying with the roller coaster. This is the first roller coaster I felt like I was actually quite proud of. I've been building a roller coasters a few times. I have lots of lost footage. Well, I have footage, but I haven't shown it to you guys because it went to nowhere with my old park, and that park had a lot of bugs. So in the end, I didn't actually show it because I'm not sure if that park's gonna work. I did put my bugged park. I did give a copy of my bugged park to the developers, and hopefully they'll see that, and they'll add that to the list of things that need to be fixed for the next release of the game, Alpha 3. I'm not even sure what comes in Alpha 3. If you guys know, let me know, because I would like to know what's coming next. But I heard rumors, or I remember it being more to do with shops and stalls, as well as things like the decor and all these things are going to come, and I really can't wait for the fantasy theme. The fantasy theme is going to be very important to me, because at the moment I'm getting quite bored of all the stuff that's available to me, and I'm really trying to think of new and unique ways to make things, but it is getting a little bit repetitive. Anyway, I'm going to make, next time, I think I've discussed this before, I want to make the Jurassic Park gates, and I also want to make a terraformed Tyrannosaurus Rex, and hopefully that will be quite interesting for a lot of you people. I also want to make Phantom Manor at Disneyland Paris, an actual rendering of that, because I love that building and it's been very inspirational. And I want to make some more real life things because I notice a lot of Planet Coaster builders also try to make things that exist in real life, and I haven't really done that so much. I've done one, the Domtoren in Utrecht, but I want to create more of those things, and I think I should be spending more time on those things. I mean, I haven't had a lot of time lately to make everything I wanted, but it's coming along slowly. I'm more annoyed by the issues I've been having with my Adobe Premiere. I've had to record this 3 times already because I have this horrible ugly sound appear on my recordings for some reason, and I have no idea why. It's very irritating, and every time I upload my video to YouTube it says I have sound issues, and I really don't know what's causing them because it makes no sense. And sometimes it says I have sound issues when I don't, and sometimes it doesn't and I do, and it's very frustrating. In this part you can see me build trial and error of what I'm using to create the roof. I didn't go with this style in the end, and I'm not even using the technique correctly here because I should be building it further away from the building so I can select it easier. But all in all, this trial and error helped me a lot. The plank, I used the wooden planks in the end, and I started with just the roof. So what you see here is not going to come into fruition much, but it was at the beginning of me trying to figure out what to do. But I got there in the end, even if it was just watching people's time lapses and figuring out from there, which isn't easy, I have to say. It's not easy at all. But I'm glad I persevered, because I think it would have been quite boring to watch me make the same roof again and again from scratch. Anyway, I think I will call it a day, and I will see you in part 3, where more copy and pastes are happening, and you'll probably get a better idea of how the building's going to turn out. So bye for now, and see you then. Wow, you must be awesome because you watched all the video, and if you want to see more, click in one of these boxes, and if you want to subscribe, do that, and I'll see you soon!